tell people or just like explain to me kind of like your thoughts on, maybe you're against the vaccine, maybe you're against the mandate, maybe you're against both. Like, why is that such a, because I know that you have a huge opinion on it. Why are you so black and white about it, and making sure that you tell your followers and everyone on Instagram that they also need to like be able to make that decision? Like, there's no gray area here for you. Like,
no.
You're not like, hey guys,
I don't think there's a gray area for anybody about the mandate.
Right.
You can be pro-vaccine and anti-mandate. Like, you can, my DMs are full of people who have gotten the vaccine. Also, can we just talk about for a second that I'm so used to censoring myself online that I'm like, I want to call it like the jab. Because you don't say vaccine online, because that's how you get nuked. That's how you get your account nuked, is like saying the word vaccine all the time.
Well,
but I can say it here.
We'll see if we get nuked.
No, I don't think you will. But
yeah, you just have banners over every video.
Literally every single thing I post.
I'm like, wow.
I'm just used to it now.
I feel like Blake is sponsored by COVID-19.
Sponsored by misinformation is what I'm sponsored by.
It's like, don't listen to her about vitamins. Go get the vaccine.
Oh my gosh, I literally put up a post about the vitamins that my family takes, that I take, that my kids take, that we take if we start to get sick, and it got like the banner for COVID-19. Like, vitamins, guys. That tells you everything you need to know about big tech right there. They like, anyway, I'm not gonna go like full tinfoil hat.
If Flintstones Vitamins is getting a COVID ban, come on. Like, yabba dabba, don't do it. Like, just calm down, people.
Literally.
Okay, so here's your soapbox. What's your, why such a big push on this?
I don't know if I've ever had anybody ask me why. I think it's because, like, I think most people just want to be left alone. I'm a libertarian at heart. Like, small government, leave me alone. Don't hurt people, don't take their stuff. Like, unpopular opinion, I don't think that it should be government mandated to wear a seatbelt. Me wearing a seatbelt doesn't hurt you. It hurts me. So it's kind of the same thing with the vaccine. Like, people have been told by the media that my vaccine protects you, and that's bull. Like, no, I'm not a virologist. I'm not a doctor, but I can read, and I can actually read research relatively well because I'm a mildly intelligent individual, and I understand that this vaccine, first of all, it doesn't touch the Delta variant, and the Alpha variant is basically gone. So we're basically just dealing with the Delta variant. People who are vaccinated with the that are vaccinated have the same viral load as the unvaccinated with the Delta variant. They have the same exact viral load. So you can get it, you can spread it, you can get really sick from it now. Watch Israel. Watch people who are ahead of us. Israel, they're like 95% vaccinated. They are having a way bigger surge than America is, with really bad symptoms, with hospitalizations, with ventilations. They're all vaccinated. So, like, why can't I just, as an adult who is responsible for everything else in my life, you expect me to pay taxes, you expect me to drive responsibly, you expect me to not shoot people, why can't I do my own risk assessment that getting all the vaccine is going to do is protect me? I'm good with taking that risk. I have a 95.97% chance of being a bad flu if I get COVID. Like, let me make my own risk assessment and make my own decision. Like, there's always been exemptions allowed. People are like, oh, like, you get the flu shot every year. Actually, no, I don't. I don't get the flu shot every year. Thanks for making that assumption. But even if where I went or worked or whatever required that, I could get a medical exemption. I could get a religious exemption. But now they're, like, completely eliminating that for the COVID vaccine. We've just completely lost our minds. Completely lost our minds. And, you know, you see places like Italy where the vaccinated are burning their vaccine passports in solidarity with the unvaccinated in opposition to mandates. You're never going to see that here. You're never going to see that in America. Because we're just so lazy. We're so lazy and we're so selfish that, like, people are like, oh, like, I got my vaccine and I have my vaccine card. Like, I'm good. I'm sorry you can't go anywhere now, but I'm good, so figure it out.
Well, it's confusing.
I don't want to make, like, a mass assumption. I'm sure there are people out there that would stand in solidarity with the unvaccinated, but the fact that we even have to talk about it as, like, the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. Don't even get me started on the comparisons with Nazi Germany.
Yeah, it's crazy that, like, the conversations I was having when Trump was still in office with, like, some of my cast member friends at Disney, when he was, like, talking about the vaccine coming out, and I remember everyone that I would talk to was very skeptical about it.
Don't get it. It's rushed.
Yeah, I mean, and it was like, yeah, I don't know, and that could have been, like, something to do politically with Trump.
But that was Disney castmates. That's not even talking about, like, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden saying, when asked, would you take Trump's vaccine, they were like, I don't think so. Now they're trying to federally mandate it.
Yeah, and it's happening fast. Like, it just seems like...
Breakneck speed.
And I'm not going to say, like for Ashley and I, like, we were very much like, do we take it, do we not? We don't know, because it's like you kind of have both sides playing, but for, like, the mandate, that's totally different.
Totally
I feel like
different.
when you're forcing it, like, somebody online the other night was saying, like, they were comparing it to, like, getting tattoos or, like, eating hot dogs and stopping at red lights and like, all these random things. And it was like, but no one's forcing you to do those things. Like,
nobody's ever forced me to eat a hot dog.
Like, those are your choice. And one of them was like, it would and the girl responded, like, you know, it'd be like if someone was like telling you, hey, it would help people if you gave your kidney up, so everyone needs to, like, go give their kidneys up. And the girl was like, yeah, you know, I'll give my kidney up. And she's like, well, that's nice of you to say that, but it's a difference of, like, you being kind enough to say, like, I would give it up, and you saying, and you being forced to give it up. That's a difference.
To prove that you can survive with one kidney, there's decades of science.
For sure.
To prove that you can survive with one kidney. People do it all the time.
And it would help people,
this
but it's not
mandated. Around
mandated.
for 5 minutes.
Have you been timing this since we've been starting?
No, the vaccine's been around for 8 months.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then people are like, no, like, the mRNA has been in development for all these years. Yeah, it never got past animal studies because all the rats died. So, like, no, this is, like, the most rushed, ridiculous. We're seeing so many adverse reactions. But those are, like, you know, an anomaly. No, they're not. Like, okay, there's science to back. This is the fastest developed vaccine in history. The shortest development in history is 10 years. It's the shortest. This one is 8 months? Less than that. That's insane. What? It's not going to be out of experimental trials until 22.
And then, at that point, will that make you, like, let's say evidence comes out.
I don't vaccinate my kids.
Is that because of what happened with your daughter?
So my daughter almost died.
Okay.
A couple of days after she got, like, a litany of shots.
Wow.
And that was because, like, I was completely uninformed as to what I was putting in my kid's body. You know, and people are gonna, like, oh, like, call CPS, she doesn't vaccinate her kids. Again, like, let me make my own risk assessment. Let me take care of my kids, like, the way that I want to. You know, they're not gonna bring back polio. My kids are not gonna, like, be the cause of the resurgence of polio. You know, but, and it's interesting because I used to be the mom that, like, judged moms that didn't vaccinate their kids. Like, super judgy about it. I don't know if I want my kids around other kids that aren't vaccinated. Why would you do that? It's so selfish. Da-da-da. And then you hold your 13-month-old while she has a 35-minute seizure and ends up ventilated and in a medically induced coma. And you're like, well, I don't know. Maybe I should do a little research into what I'm putting into my kid's body.
Like, she could have died.
Yeah, she should have died. Or been brain dead.
But she's good now. She's fine.
She's awesome.
Praise God.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Total God thing.
So, I mean, that was a vaccine that they were telling you, like, hey, she's got to get these.
Yeah.
And now, when you're holding her, you're thinking, oh, my goodness, what have I done? And I'm sure your whole way of thinking probably changed of, like, because, like, you were talking about earlier, just, like, America doesn't fight back a lot of times out of laziness. But I feel like just out of comfort, maybe. Of just,
Very
like,
much so.
we are so...
We've been conditioned to trust the government.
Mm-hmm.
We've been conditioned to trust everybody in charge, whether that's big pharma, big tech, the government. I sound like such a conspiracy theorist right now. But
I was going to say, this is coming to you by Rumble and Parler.
Like 100% Telegram.
Yeah.
But I mean, but we're not like these wild-haired bunker-building crazy people. Like, and I mean, you know, everybody talks about, like, don't live in an echo chamber, which I have opinions on, but most people that I do life with think relatively similar to me. They don't, like, implicitly trust the government. They don't implicitly trust big pharma or big tech. They are relatively self-sustaining and take care of, like, support their natural immune systems and ask questions and are critical thinkers. Like, there's so many more of us than the government wants you to think. They want you to think that you're in the minority and that you're crazy. I just don't buy that.
So then why, I wonder why it is. And maybe it's because, like, you have these huge, like, media outlets out there that are all saying one thing, but then, like you said, you have all these other people out there, you know, just call them the normal people or whatever, and maybe, like, a few, like, news outlets that are, like, kind of speaking up for this side, and it's so tough because you literally have one side saying this, one side saying this, and it's complete opposite, and they're both saying we have the science, we have the facts, like, we are correct in this, and, like, I don't remember that growing up. I mean, it was like you had your local news,
right, and
you just took your local news as truth. You got your newspaper,
right,
for anyone that's, like, 16 or younger listening to this, they're like, what is he talking about? And that's what your parents wrap their ornaments in. But, like, I don't remember a time where it was, like, such opposing pieces of information, and maybe that's just the age of social media. Like,
I think so, yeah.
Do you think that's just where we are now for the rest of history?
I don't know. I literally, those are the things I, like, lay in bed and think about at night. Like, I literally was talking to God last night, just kind of, what are we doing? Where's this going? How does this get any better? Because we're more divided than ever. Everything is divisive. Everything is divisive. Harry Potter is divisive. You know what I mean? Like, everything's divisive. Everybody's mad about everything. Everybody thinks they're right and everybody else is wrong, and they're unwilling and sometimes incapable of civil discourse. I was just kind of like, literally, like, God, what? Like, what do we, like, does this get any better? Or are you coming back soon? That'd be cool. Like, I don't know. I do think, you know, I think that people have had these opposing, like, have been on both ends of the spectrum, but we've just never had the access to the information that we have now. I think plays a big part in it, and, dude, I don't know. Like, I struggle to I get hopeless sometimes. Like, it feels hopeless, especially being, like, in the arena, being, like, an active player in the game or whatever. I mean, there are times where I have to take a couple days off the internet because I've just gotten beaten to a pulp in my DMs or in my comments for, like, thinking for myself. It's crazy.
Hey y'all, we hope you loved this conversation. Here at Young Married Christian, we are on a mission to see a gospel-centered home made available for every single child in the foster care system. There are 400,000 kids in the foster care system, and there are 400,000 churches in America. Wow. That is crazy. This is absolutely a solvable problem, and we want to be a part of it. If you want to join us in that mission, text the word freedom to 833-370-1610.
833-370-1610. 833-370-1610.
I just did it.
And another thing you can do that is really helpful is to smash the like button on this video.
Smash it like Satan's face. Crush it like it's Lucifer's head.
It really helps us a ton, so smash that like button, subscribe to this channel.
That's it.
smash the like button on this video.